Some of you who know me know that I love Francis Chan. Francis is an American Protestant author. He's a teacher. He's a preacher. He was the founder and the former teaching pastor of this church called Cornerstone Community Church, where he led that church for more than 20 years. And now he's somewhere in Asia doing ministry. If you don't follow him, you should. I mean, he is a guy that says it like it is. And this is why I love Francis. He doesn't sugarcoat the truth. And one thing I know is our society needs truth more now than ever. So it was a few years back, I saw a very short clip of his titled, "Clean Your Room." And I recall this clip impacting me in a way that I really can't describe. It was one of those moments where you hear something and you are absolutely so challenged by it that it causes you to make immediate changes in your life. So it was this illustration where Francis shares when he told his daughter to go clean her room. And he goes on to say that his daughter knows better than to come back a couple hours later and say, "Dad, I've memorized what you said to me. You said, go clean your room." So what do you think he said to her? "Oh, good job, honey. That's exactly what I wanted you to do. Way to go." No, you guys, you know he didn't say that. And she's not going to come back and say, "Dad, I can say go clean your room in the Greek, in the Hebrew. Just take a listen." No, you know that's not going to fly. I mean, how ridiculous does that sound? But what if she comes back and says, "You know what, Dad? My friends and I, we're going to gather together, and every week we're going to have a study, and we're going to figure out what it looks like if I clean my room." No, my friends, none of us would find that acceptable. None of that is going to fly. I mean, that is complete nonsense, and it sounds so ridiculous that you guys are probably laughing. So here's what completely convicted me about this illustration. This is the church, isn't it? I mean, God has given us these clear commands. He's called us to honor and love Him. He's called us to love others, including our enemies. I mean, He's called us to walk blameless. He's called us to seek His kingdom above everything. He's called us to walk the narrow road. He's called us to take up our cross, deny ourselves, and follow Him. He's called us to go and make disciples. He's called us to teach, preach, baptize. My friends, He's called us to a life of obedience. And what do? We memorize what He told us to do. We learn the Greek and the Hebrew and all the translations of what He's told us to do. We meet weekly together with other believers and friends to talk about what He's told us. And you know what? None of that matters to Jesus. Jesus is not proud of that. So how many of us know the Word? I mean, how many of us know the translations? I mean, how many of us are part of Bible studies and life groups and a million other church activities? A lot of us are, yet we aren't obeying Jesus and actually following through. We aren't actually following through with action steps, fulfilling the commands that He left for us. My friends, the only thing Jesus is pleased with is an obedient follower. Ones that will hear what He says and actually do it. I mean, the words that we're going to hear when we meet Jesus are either going to be, "Well done, my good and faithful servant," or "Depart from me, for I never knew you." Well done, not well heard. So remember, it was Jesus who said, "If you love me, you will do what I say." So the question I want to leave you with is, are you going to do what He says?